let's talk about failure. You see, technically I failed to make the video that I intended for my YouTube channel. And it was actually a pretty simple one. All I had to do was to make this 15-second spec ad of Monster, put it on Instagram, and then make a BTS for YouTube about it. And the whole point of this video was to just practice filmmaking, and especially film using a black background, because there are specific reasons why you could use this, like you would use green screen or blue screen. But unfortunately, my editing program or software, which is DaVinci Resolve, was not properly working, and all my troubleshoot attempts just failed and made everything worse. Because apparently updating the program to the newest settings or newest version just completely makes the program unusable. I have no idea what's going on, and I'm really tired because I've been doing and troubleshooting this since 7 a.m. and now it's 4 p.m. So yeah, I'm really annoyed. And as I was sitting at the balcony and kind of reflecting about all of this, because I'm basically stuck with a goal and a deadline that I have to meet. This is a goal I set, and at the same time I cannot edit. So as I was thinking, I realized that when we are faced with failure, there are 4 things that we can do. First of all, we can just take the easy route, which means we quit and we just move on. Or the second thing we can do is we can not give up. And when you decide not to give up, you have 3 options. You can either continue fighting with that problem and try to solve it. You can try to go around it and find a workaround that will give you the final result. Or if none of this works, you can try to build something new from the ruins. And this is exactly what I'm doing right now. You see, literally yesterday, I had this thought, just random thought in my mind, realizing that I've been already doing YouTube for 1 year. And since 1 year, I realized I enjoy more speaking to the camera rather than editing or coming up with the scripts or any of that. Like, I actually enjoy more speaking to the camera than the filmmaking part of these videos. And this is something very surprising for me because I'm an introvert, I'm quite shy, and for me, speaking to a camera is actually easier than speaking with people. That's something very, very unusual and unexpected for me. So I thought to myself, hey, if I cannot make the video I wanted to, but I'm really bothered about not making or uploading a video, why don't I just do something that I really enjoy, which is speaking in front of a camera, and to just record a video. Let's do this little rant where I discuss what I'm thinking about it. After all, this is also part of my experience, and honestly, who cares if no one's gonna see this video? Who cares if your analytics will be 0? Who cares what any of those growth channels tell you about thinking about the thumbnails and all that stuff? Forget it. Because at the end of the day, you have to enjoy what you're doing, And for me, this is the most important thing. What's the point of me trying to grow my channel if I'm not enjoying the videos I'm making, right? Whereas this just small video, hopefully it's going to be small, it's giving me so much energy and so much positivity right now that completely outweighs all this frustration that I've been having all day. So this is one of the things that I kind of realized, is that I can find a positive thing about this whole thing. Without this whole issue, I wouldn't be standing right now speaking in front of a camera with no script, no plan, no editing capabilities, and actively trying not to say too many ands or rights or us, knowing that I cannot cut them out. And this is something that is super easy to overlook, because whenever we're editing and we are recording, we know that, hey, if there's any mess ups, we'll just cut it out and that's it. And this is something I'm doing a lot. But now actively thinking about it, it's a skill. It's a way for me to practice public speaking in front of a camera, of course, but being able to come up with things as you go. Like, I was always fascinated by how do you call those? The freestyle rappers? How do you rap in front of a beat with just things coming from your mind? That's incredible. For me, I still don't understand how this is done. Maybe I'm just stupid, I don't know. But hey, this is something that you can actively train for sure. And this is what I'm doing right now. So I'm thankful for this issue because I'm doing this. And the second thing is actually the program itself. You see, I'm quite stubborn and I tend to bulldoze through problems, even if they are like always happening. I'm just bulldozing through it because I'm just interested about the result and to make sure things get done. So for months now, I've been having problems with DaVinci Resolve, and they would make my editing slower, but at the end of the day, if I push through it, I'll get the video done. And I never really thought about trying to find a way or to fix it. Well, now you know that trying to fix it today wasn't, or yesterday and today was not a good thing, because in the end, I messed it up even worse. And I have no idea why. But that gets me thinking that maybe this is a sign that I should move to a completely different program. A program that might give me new possibilities. And one of them is Premiere Pro. This is the one I'm eyeing on because I've been using it way before YouTube. But the reason why I moved away from it was because, first of all, I didn't really like the UI. It was like all over the place. And second of all, it didn't really work properly on my laptop. So that's why I moved to DaVinci Resolve. And even though DaVinci Resolve is actually power hungry and hardware hungry, for some reason it was working better on my MSI gaming laptop than a Premiere Pro. Not sure what's going on, but hey, if I wouldn't do this change, I wouldn't upgrade my laptop to a desktop PC, because when I realized that, well, if these two programs, the top programs, are not properly working on my laptop, then most probably something's with my laptop. And upgrading to a PC was a good step. Now it's much more enjoyable to edit and to make videos, and it's way faster. So now the question is, maybe it's a good time for me, maybe it's a sign for me to move on to Premiere Pro as well. Even though I have to pay for it, yes, and DaVinci Resolve is free. But if we look at opportunities, I would say 80 to 90% of the whole industry sits on Premiere Pro, for sure. Because whenever you go and you try to apply to jobs, and I did that, they all some of them actually, not all, but some of them specifically ask you for those skills, the Adobe package, Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, and Premiere Pro. You gotta know them. Even freelance directors, I saw some here in Portugal, and they were specifically asking for these people who know these programs. So if I come along with my, for example, imagine that I'm a professional editor, but I'm using DaVinci Resolve, most probably that director will think twice, even if I have like 10 years experience, because at the end of the day, there is a specific workflow that everyone is used to. And when you're working with people with the same program, it's just easier to bounce files. So perhaps, if I want to collaborate more and learn with new companies and that work in editing, which is a nice way for me to learn, for instance, how to edit, how to film and everything, perhaps going to the route of Premiere Pro is the next step for me right now. After 1 year of doing YouTube videos on Premiere Pro, I will definitely learn the program, especially if I also actively seek to learn it. And I already have a good set of skills that I can present to people who use the same program most probably, and then they'll be more happy to work with me, rather than having to stress out how to bounce files between different programs. So that gives me an advantage. And of course, in the end, if I still if I am not comfortable with this program, I can always find a way to somehow make DaVinci Resolve work and to continue working there, but only on my own freelance projects, which does not depend on anyone else. But I think as we learn, it is best to find as many people around as possible who are in the same field, I guess. And then you can learn really from them of their skills and what they do. And it's always much better to have the same programs. So that's another positive thing, I think. We'll see as the time goes, because you know what I realized is that all the negative things that happen in our lives, maybe now you don't understand why it's happening, but month, 2, 3, 1 year, 3 years from now, something is gonna happen. Something is gonna happen that'll make you remember this day, and you'll realize, oh, so that's why this happened, you know? And if it doesn't, well, that means you're just not actively searching for it. And I realized that when you're actively thinking about finding good things in bad things, then you usually find something that you can learn, some kind of wisdom and everything. I actually mentioned this in a previous video as well. I really believe in that. I really believe that everything happens for a reason, but you just need to find what is that reason, and you need to focus on the good things. Because, hey, 90% of our life we spend here, and you need to make sure that this thing works really, really well, and it's under your control and not under anyone else's control or under the control of emotions. That's the worst thing. Like, I had emotions, yeah, so what? You know, I let them happen and then I threw them out of the door. Open the door of your room, right? Think about throwing the emotions out of it and then close the door. And that's it. And start using your rational mind and make the decisions like that. So yeah, that's my opinions. That's my advice to you. Don't give up. And make sure that you find the good thing in the bad. And believe that everything happens for a reason. Don't give up. And I hope I will make the next video of this monster ad and share with you my findings. As always, thank you for watching if you sticked around to now. Sorry for this long video and all the ranting and also the mistakes while speaking. I'm learning like everyone else. And I see you in the next one. Пока.